Good morning everyone. I've already applied the eyeshadow primer and brows as usual. Again, as usual, I'm taking my Glow Last by Auric. So I'm going to be doing like a very warm toned look today for our pet pairing video, because I realized that the last few months we've been doing quite exclusively like very cool toned looks, and I was actually about to do another very cool toned look today, but then I had the two palettes that we're going to use today laid out, and I thought, man, I've been doing only really cool toned looks. I want to do something warm. And I think the reason I've been doing so many cool toned looks is because it's just like fucking cold in the Netherlands. So I don't really have that inner urge to wear orange and yellow. So I busted out my little, orange turtleneck to at least somewhat be in the mood for a warm toned look. Taking my instant concealer from Clarins. So my pet order is being processed for the last 2 days. I was really hoping to wake up this morning to a shipping notification, but nope, I woke up to no change in the status of my order. It's still processing. And by the way, apparently when you spend above a certain amount of money, you automatically get express free shipping, but nowhere on the website is it stated what that amount is. I tried to find it because as I was checking out, and I ordered like a crap ton of things, okay? I ordered 3 blushes, the highlighter, the quad, and from one of the blush shades I actually ordered 3 units because I wanted to give 2 of them to my besties. I'll tell you the whole story later on, but basically I checked out, everything went well. I was a little bit freaking out because of course it's a pet release, you never know how south things are going to go, but honestly everything went very smoothly, and I also had a really good exchange with customer service, but I will tell you more about that when the products arrive and we do the actual like first impressions. So I paid like my right kidney for this order, as you can imagine, and as I was checking out, I was fully prepared to once again pay her for express shipping, the exorbitant 17 euros for express shipping, because I just want to have everything soon. I did that, and then as soon as I reached the shipping options, I was like, oh no, why is it only giving me one option? And it's free, and I freaked out that it's the free option for just, good old regular mail, because I know that for instance, at least that was the case until a couple of months ago, people in the UK only have the free shipping option that is through Global E, like through your regular postal service, and not through DHL, which is the express service. So I was like, oh no, she has removed that option for the Netherlands too. But then I noticed that it's the express option, and I thought, huh? I'm not even getting the other one? What is that? Dummy. It wasn't even crossing my mind for a second that I am being treated to free shipping because I spent a crap ton of money. But apparently that's the case. So I saw that and I thought, oh, maybe she has changed again the conditions on her shipping, and maybe it states somewhere on the website how much money you need to spend in order to get the free shipping. And I was like, okay, if I know that in the future, I can like plan my orders a little bit so that I can just get the free shipping and bundle up orders together. No, nowhere on the website, I'm taking my Hourglass Moonlight powder by the way, nowhere on the website is it stated exactly how much you need to spend in order to get the free express shipping. So I spent over 200 euros, that's all I can tell you. I don't know, there is no other indication what I did right in order to get free express shipping. I've already seen people in the US start to get their orders, so of course, as per usual, us international customers are going to be the last ones to get our Pat McGrath products with express shipping and all. I'm grabbing my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel bronzer, by the way, on a large synthetic brush like this. So we shall see. I'm still hoping that I will receive the product at latest on Saturday, like at latest. I'm really hoping that it already comes in by Friday, but at the latest I'm hoping Saturday, and I probably won't have time to film more detailed videos before Friday because I have a lot of meetings on Thursday. I have to prepare a presentation for Friday. I hope that it's not going to come in on Thursday, because then I'm going to have a really hard time not using the products on Friday, because I really want to film a first impression with you guys. I don't want to try the products without you. I want to try them together. I want to swatch everything comparatively, speak about the formula, just the whole spiel, just be excited about it together. For my blush today, I am going to grab a little sample that I got from Alice the other day. I mentioned in my previous video that I was about to go visit Alice and her baby, so we did do that on Monday. It was absolutely lovely. We had a delicious brunch. So the blush that I'm going to use today is a little sample from a product that I don't know the full name of, nor do I know the name of the brand. It's called the Cheek Slime. I will put somewhere on the screen what the brand is called, and I don't really know much about the brand or about this product. However, as soon as I saw the color, I was like, this is what my pumpkin orange dreams are made of. I want this. The only thing that really like boggles my mind, it's a very like thick sort of like gel texture, which already seems very promising because I think it's going to look absolutely beautiful on the skin. And I'm going to apply a little dot here and start blending that out with my brush. The only thing that puzzles me about this product is the name. When they were in like the headquarters and they were deciding how to name this product, who on earth thought that including the word slime is a positive thing? Like, I have not once heard the word slime used in a positive context. It just does not have a positive connotation to it, so it puzzles me what exactly they were thinking. This color is beautiful. Okay, I love this. I think this is going to last me quite a while, but as soon as it's finished, I might actually order it, because Alice told me where I can find it on a Dutch website, and it's 18 euros, which is not exorbitantly expensive. It's actually in the same ballpark that melt blushes are, but I absolutely love this color. It's such a beautiful color. It was extremely easy to blend out on the skin. It has a luminosity to it. It looks beautiful and natural. I absolutely love it. For my highlighter today, I'm going to do a little bit of like a shop my stash. I'm going to take the tiniest bit of Champagne Pop from Becca, and I'm going to apply something over top of that. Just applying a very like light layer of that, although it's quite a blinding highlighter as it is. But over top of that, to give it a little bit more of like an interesting duochrome effect that I think is going to fit the eye look very well, I'm going to take this shade. This is one of the duochrome Makeup Geek highlighters. This is the shade Psychedelic. I have a huge dent in this highlighter because a few summers ago it was like my favorite thing to use. I would just use it all the time, even on my bare face. I'm going to apply a light layer of that, and I don't know whether you can see it, immediately gives a little bit of like this, like almost like peach red shift. I love this highlighter so much. It's one of the few products that I still really enjoy from Makeup Geek, this particular shade of highlighter. So now we're going to get into the eye look, and as you guys have already seen from the title, today we're going to be pairing the Sublime palette together with the beautiful Midnight Sun. And in Midnight Sun we are going to focus a little bit more on like the warmer shades over here. I'm going to start blending the light caramel shade. I got in touch with Alice a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to send Andrea a present. As you guys know, Andrea is Alice's daughter. She was born 2.5 months ago. So I, like usually in the Netherlands, you would go on a kraambezoek, which is like you would visit the newborn for the first time about like 2 weeks after they're born or something. Like people start visiting, and then you can admire the new baby in real life. However, it is fucking pandemic times, so I don't assume anything. So I assumed that Alice probably doesn't want to see me before the end of summer or something. But I got in touch with her and I said, Alice, can you give me your address, because I would like to send Andrea a present. And she said, why don't you just come over? And I was honestly quite shocked, because knowing Alice, I really thought that she would be very strict with the company she receives at home. But apparently I am deemed a very safe person, and I have like high levels of trust from Alice, and she trusts me to not bring diseases into her house. So I am very happy to say that she invited me to her house, and I actually self-invited all three of us, so myself, Hubs and Nicola, because I thought it might be really fun to visit with the three of us. I'm now going to take a small like crease brush and go into the beautiful like brick red, and I'm going to start fluffing that here into the outer corner of my eye. It's a really beautiful shade, and we really enjoyed ourselves. Nicola also really enjoyed himself. He was basically on his best behavior because he didn't throw even one tantrum. Well, he probably threw one tantrum, but like for toddler standards he was super well behaved. He didn't misbehave, he didn't break anything, he didn't wake up the baby, which was totally possible because he was being so extremely loud. The thing that he was the most impressed by is Alice's husband has this beautiful huge aquarium. An aquarium with little moving fish in there is a very exciting thing to behold. So he was mesmerized by the aquarium. Honestly, I was myself too. Especially one of the types of fish that he has in the aquarium is this tiny little fish that has a blue fluorescent stripe running like in the middle of their like little bodies, and their eyes are also blue and fluorescent, which was spooky and super cool at the same time. So we were all mesmerized by the aquarium. The one thing that Alice and I forgot, which I felt really dumb about, because I even mentioned in the video that I was going to her house and I was going to swatch finally live the Glam Shop eyeshadows. I completely forgot about that. I still haven't seen the stupid Glam Shop eyeshadows in real life. I felt so dumb. But okay, I think it was mostly because we didn't really go to her makeup room because the baby was sleeping upstairs and we didn't want to wake her up. So we stayed in the living room and she just brought a couple of things downstairs because we had this idea to exchange a couple of liquid blushes, because I have a couple of liquid blushes from Daniel Sandler that she doesn't have, and she has a shade that I really wanted to try. So we were busy exchanging samples of those, and I think I completely blacked out about Glam Shop. I want to run the tiniest bit of this deep brown shade from the Sublime palette here across my lash line and just bring it out a little bit in like a wing eyeliner shape. So we had fun, we ate delicious food because Alice loves brunch. So she had prepared a crap ton of things. We had soup, we had quiche, we had pancakes, and she still had prepared chocolate mousse as dessert. It was so much food, but it was really good. And let me tell you, for a mom of a newborn, she looks really fresh. Like both of them, both Alice and her husband, looked really fresh for people who are, you know, fighting a newborn. I think Andrea is also a relatively well-behaved baby. Okay, now I'm going to apply the tiniest bit of glitter glue onto my lid. As usual, I'm taking my Pixie Poxy from Firini. Ooh, on another note, did any of you guys end up watching the final of Eurovision? Were you surprised by the winners? I was. Honestly, I hadn't heard all the songs, so for me, watching the second semi-final and watching the final with like all the new songs that were presented at that point, because okay, let me tell you, for those of you who are not familiar with the contest, most countries have to go through the semi-finals in order to get to the final, and you can only get through with a vote from the people, basically. There are 5 countries, the original 5 that started Eurovision, that immediately qualify for a final. Those are Germany, Spain, England, France, and Spain, and Italy. I'm going to take the bronze shade here, the bronze topper shade from the Sublime palette now, just on my finger as usual. And I'm going to apply that all over the lid, but basically leave this part of the lid a bit more like sheer, because I want to layer another shade from Midnight Sun over top. So just the tiniest bit here. So I hadn't really heard all the songs by the time that the final rolled around, because I hadn't heard the songs of Spain, England, or France or Italy. I had just heard about them, especially the song from Italy. It had been a favorite with the bookies, so I was curious about it. I had heard about it, but I hadn't heard the actual song. I didn't really like the song from France, even though it qualified really high. Now I'm going to take the beautiful like orange sparkly topper from Midnight Sun, and I'm going to basically apply that. And I'm basically going to apply that all over the lid, but mostly here towards the outer part, because this is where I want to connect to the rest of the shades a little bit better. And just the tiniest bit over the bronze shade from Sublime. This is going to look super sparkly in artificial lighting, I can promise you that. So it was very interesting to watch, especially once they came to the final counting of the votes. And let me tell you, for those of you who are not from Europe and have not followed the Eurovision Song Contest, a couple of years ago we were banned from deciding who wins just based on popular vote, so people voting, because what happened a lot is that countries voted for its neighbors, and it was almost like becoming a running like joke. All of the Eastern European countries would vote from each other, all the Scandinavian countries would vote from each other, and nobody ever voted for the UK, France or Spain. Okay, so there you have it. That was pretty hilarious. And unfortunately they ruined our fun by removing that, and now half of the vote comes from the so-called jury and half of the vote comes from the popular vote, and it's really strange to me. I don't really enjoy the way they're doing it. I don't like the way they're doing it, because what they used to do is call each country, and each country would give 8, 10 and 12 points to the 3 favorites, and we would be able to see per country who voted how. And now we can see that part, but for the jury. And I don't give a shit about the jury, okay? I don't give a shit how many points the jury gives. I understand that they are meant to balance out the vote a little bit, but I don't think their voting is as much fun. I want to see this whole spiel, like calling each country and announcing the votes per country from the popular vote, not from the jury. But what they've done now is that they go through each country for the jury vote, and then very quickly in the end they just say this country is getting this many points without saying from which country they come from. So I have no idea how they exactly count the popular vote anymore. It's a complete mystery to me. Maybe somewhere on the website of Eurovision there is a detailed explanation of how they do this, but I have never read that. I'm grabbing a tiny bit of the matte red shade again, just here to apply at the very outer edge of the eye. After I had heard all the songs, I couldn't really, like, usually you can clearly tell that there is one song which is probably going to be the winner and like the crowd pleaser, but this year I did not hear a song that I thought, okay, this is a crowd pleaser. I am now going back into the Midnight Sun palette and going to grab this shade to apply through my inner corners. So I wasn't completely in agreement with the jury who ranked the songs from Switzerland and France best. Oh yeah, I was saying that I didn't like the song from France. Don't get me wrong, she sang beautifully and with a lot of like emotion and passion, but it was so French. A French person singing in French a very French song. How groundbreaking. So that is the only reason. I just didn't think that it was new and interesting, and I for one was happy to see that something new and interesting won the popular vote, which was the Italian song. I think I'm going to now grab a little bit of the Astral shade from Midnight Sun, just because there can never be enough glitter on my eyeballs, and apply that over top of the inner corner shade, just to make everything as much glittery as possible. So the Italian song is actually not bad. I heard it a few times now and it has grown on me, and I like it when Europe votes for something different. Like, we've definitely made it clear that we like different things. We voted for Lordi 15 years ago, we voted for Conchita Wurst some years after that, so we clearly like to vote for what's different. And I really enjoyed the fact that in the end it was the different songs that really took the hearts of people. What am I doing on my lower lash line? I think on my lower lash line I'm just going to go back into the Sublime palette and apply this reddish matte shade all the way here on my lower lashes. I was a tiny bit disappointed about the Bulgarian song, because the after the jury vote, Victoria was ranking 6th, and I was quite happy with that because, listen, as beautiful as the song was, it was not as good as her song last year, and it was a ballad. And I'm afraid to say that after a year of pandemic, people don't want to hear ballads, they want to hear something funky, new, different and lively. So I understand that her song could not have possibly won, not this year. I think last year with her song Tears Getting Sober, she had a really good chance of winning the contest, but not this year. So I was not disappointed that she didn't win, but I was pretty disappointed by the popular vote because she only got 30 points from the popular vote, which was a very disappointing amount. So she only ended up ranking 11th, and I thought that was a bit disappointing. I absolutely voted for her song. I voted for her song and one more song. I voted for Victoria because I wanted to support her, not because she was necessarily my absolute favorite song. And I voted for the song of Belgium. I really enjoyed the songs from Belgium and Portugal, actually. You should have heard what the Dutch commentator said about the Belgian song. The Belgians had this, like, I don't know, more alternative, more indie kind of style, which I also understand it does not really fit the Eurovision aesthetic and preferences, so I understand why I didn't make it very high in the ranking. I'm going to tight line now with a dark brown pencil. So I understand why that song didn't rank very high. And they were dressed all black for their performance, so what he said, and I quote, is, "I've seen funerals that are more festive." For my waterline, I'm going to take this Kiko eyeshadow stick in the number 37, which is actually a little bit of like a red shade, a deep red shade, and I'm going to apply that here in my waterline. I think it will tie the look nicely together. So this is the final look, you guys. I love how like fiery and orangey and beautiful and summery it turned out, if only it was summer outside too. Who knows, maybe I can summon summer with the colors that I'm wearing. Also, the weather forecast has been promising us that in the upcoming days it will actually get a bit more summery here. Now for my lipstick, I'm wearing a beautiful Urban Decay lipstick. This is one of my favorite reds. It is this shade Bad Blood, which is one of their comfort mattes. And what's interesting about this shade is that it is pretty much an exact dupe of Elson from Pat McGrath, which I think is also one of the secret reasons I love wearing this lipstick, because it prevents me from buying Elson. Make sure to let me know what you thought of this pet pairing, and also if you watched Eurovision, what your thoughts on that were. I can't wait to hear them. And I'll see you in my next video. Hopefully with the first impressions of the new Pat McGrath Divine Blush collection. Pretty sure it's going to be that. End of the week. Positive thoughts. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!